It's in the state right away. So who's responsible for that? The school or the state? Because that's a hazard. There's no other way. Look, it does it on the other side too, so it basically collapsed in the middle. There's two of them sticking out on either side. So, yeah. Yeah, it's really bad.
Yeah, it
But
is.
if you're driving north, you'll see it.
Okay.
I mean, on 14, you can't miss it. It's about 30, you can see the flowers there.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's about 30
Sure
feet
are.
from the intersection. Well, anyway,
It's not good.
no.
No.
Could be worse. Ruby and Southern.
Yeah, I mean, it's a gray area, right?
Yeah.
And if you get on the state's gonna say, that's not ours.
But it works the other way around.
Good luck with that. Why didn't they mow?
All right, well, it's 7 o'clock. I'll call the regular city council meeting to order. Please join me in pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, clerk, please call the roll.
Alderwoman Haderlein,
Present.
Schulz,
President.
Lavallee,
Here.
Carncross, Lancaster,
Here.
Gorman, Perkins,
Present.
Lorena. Quorum is present, Mayor.
Thank you. At this time, we'll open the floor for public comment to City Council. Is there any member of the audience that wishes to address City Council for any item that's not on the agenda? Going once, going twice. All right, thank you. We will move on to item number 4, which is the Infrastructure Committee meeting minutes from August 12th, 2024. We're seeking the committee's action to approve the minutes as presented.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Have a motion by Perkins and second by Schulz. Any other comments or questions here? Hearing none, clerk call the roll.
Alderman Schulz,
Yes.
Lavallee,
Yes.
Perkins.
Yes.
All ayes, motion carries.
Thank you. Item number 5 is the Community and Economic Development Committee meeting minutes from August 13th, 2024. Seek the committee's action to approve the minutes as presented.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Motion by Lancaster, second by Schulz. Any other comments or questions here? Hearing none, clerk call the roll.
Alderman Schulz,
Yes.
Carncross, Lancaster,
Yes.
all ayes.
All right. Item number 6, 6A through 6P is the consent agenda. Is there any item on the consent agenda that City Council or a member of the audience wishes to remove from the consent agenda?
I'd like to remove the administrator's report, item F.
Item F, all right. Anyone else? Hearing none, I'll accept the motion to approve the consent agenda 6A through 6E and then 6G through 6P.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda 6A through E and G through P.
Second.
Motion by Haderlein, second by Schulz. Any comments or questions here? Hearing none, clerk call the roll.
Alderman Lavallee,
Yes.
Lancaster,
Yes.
Perkins,
Yes.
Haderlein,
Yes.
Schulz.
Yes.
All ayes, motion carries.
All right, item number 7 is now formally 6F, the administrator's report. Alderwoman, do you have some comments on this?
Yeah, I just had a question. I noticed at the end of the report, there's a reference to wholesome. I don't know if that's how they pronounce it now. And a discussion with Randy Willey, formerly of Meyer Materials and formerly of Lafarge, discussing next steps to amend the annexation agreement, which I know is regarding the gravel pit out by Lawrence. And I was curious what the amendment, what that discussion is.
So, as you may recall, the original annexation agreement is due to expire December 8th, 2004. We've already had one extension.
2024?
What's that?
2020.
24, sorry, thank you. It was originally drafted in 2004 and approved by the council at that time. It is due, they want to extend that out 10 years. So the discussion was to talk about the next steps as far as what takes place as far as a notice, public hearing, presentation, and so on, so that all that can be done and heard properly for this council to either approve or deny in a meeting down the road. So as it sits right now, I believe it would be the administration committee on September 17th. We'll hear a preliminary presentation by Holcomb. And then it will move, the presentation would move on to the full council at that point to hear, ask questions, and so on.
Okay. I suspected it was something like that, because it wasn't that long ago that we had the discussion, that Dave invited us in to have a discussion with Randy, Willie, and their attorney about the final 5-year extension.
Yeah, so the 5-year extension was approved 5 years ago,
Right.
and now we're at the end of that, right? So in order to move forward, it has to be another new extension. My understanding is the company is trying to understand what they need to do to prepare for that and make their presentation to council for approval of that extension.
Well, the original agreement, since I'm actually the only person here who actually was there when not on the council, but at the meetings.
Right.
Or though Scott might have been, I don't know, not in 2004. Okay. The original agreement was 10 years with 2 5-year extensions. And, so it was 20 years total, so it's not that there is a automatic process for an extension, so.
So one of the things
Typically, that would go back to the zoning board for a new permit, but that'll be up to us.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
up to you. I would suggest one of the things that council will need to consider in this, and I think the city administrator has already brought to their attention, that contract was written with an expectation of pricing per ton based on pricing 20 years ago.
Right.
So it would behoove council to revisit that and determine, one, what pricing would be should they begin mining if this is approved. And secondly, the mere fact that they have sat on the, let's call it the inventory of gravel for 20 years and have shown no expectations of actually mining, that perhaps the council would kind of force their hand and say, we need a commitment to begin mining, or perhaps not do the contract. Of course, that's up to the full discretion of the council, but those are some of the items that you may want to consider when this comes before you.
Thank you.
Sure. Any other questions on the administrators?
Where's this property located?
This property is located on the north side of Harvard. If you look at the city's corporate limits map, you'll notice that it is kind of to the west of Lawrence Road, north of Old Grove Road. So north of Lawrence.
Do you know where, north and east of Lawrence, do you know where Piscasaw Gardens is? It's across from that.
Right. So
It's how many, several hundred acres?
yes, I don't know the full size of it, but it's a very large portion of that farmland. So, are there any other items about this? Otherwise, seek a motion to approve acceptance of the administrator's report as presented.
I'll make a motion to approve.
There's, before we go on, there was one other part to that meeting. Actually, earlier, the cup was due to expire, the conditional use permit, which was administratively approved in 2014 and again in 2019. They met all of the criteria for it to be administratively approved pending the amendment, should it pass. So
Okay.
everything's on the record.
Okay, thank you.
792 acres.
Thank you. Glad you knew that. I did not know that.
I second.
All right, we have a motion in Haderlein, second in Schulz to approve the administrator's report. Any other comments or questions? Hearing none, clerk call the roll.
Alderwoman Lancaster,
Yes.
Perkins.
Yes.
Haderlein,
Yes.
Schulz,
Yes.
Lavallee.
Yes.
All ayes, motion carries.
All right, item number 8. Let's move this up so everybody can see the payment of the bills. Seek a motion to approve payment of the bills in the amount of $488,834.82.
Make a motion to approve the payment of the bills in the amount of $488,834.82.
I'll second.
Motion by Haderlein, second by Perkins. Any other comments, questions here? Hearing none, clerk call the roll.
Alderwoman Lancaster,
Yes.
Perkins.
Yes.
Haderlein,
Yes.
Schulz, Lavallee.
Yes.
Lavallee.
Yes.
All ayes, motion carries.
Thank you. Item number 9 is a Infrastructure Committee recommendation regarding surf internet agreement. The recommendation is a motion to approve the right-of-way use agreement with Surf Air Wireless LLC, doing business as Surf Internet with revisions as discussed by the committee. And I believe representative is here from Surf Internet if you have any questions.
So I do have a question. I read through the agreement, but just wanted to clarify. It didn't sound like this is actually approving any work, any actual physical work at this time?
Yeah, I believe they will require to get permits
Okay.
to actually start the work.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
All right, have a motion by Schultz, second by Perkins. Any comments or questions here? Hearing none, clerk call the roll.
Alderman Perkins,
Yes.
Haderlein,
Yes.
Schulz,
Yes.
Lavallee.
Yes.
Lancaster.
Yes.
All ayes, motion carries.
All right, thank you. I'm looking forward to us getting fiber internet here in Harvard in the not-too-distant future. All right, item number 10 is the Infrastructure Committee discussion about Route 14 bridge maintenance. The committee recommends discussion to determine the best method to hold the state accountable for ongoing maintenance.
So in the meeting, infrastructure meeting, I brought up 3 different points about the bridge. First, the fact that you can't use the sidewalks on the bridge during the winter when it snows. Number 2, during the summer on the south end of the bridge, I'm actually all the way across the bridge, there's weeds growing on the bridge, and it looks bad. It makes our community look bad. It's not our bridge, it's the state's bridge, but they don't maintain it. The third thing is on the north side of the bridge, right next to the building that's right by the track, there's a damaged piece of rail that's been damaged for, I think, 3 to 4 years now. The state has done nothing to repair that. So the point that I was asking is, what can we do as a board to pressure the state to deal with these things? It's not our bridge, it's their bridge, and they need to take care of it because it reflects poorly on us and our community. So what are the recommendations? What can we do?
So one of the things you can do is submit a letter signed by the mayor and council. You can also do a resolution urging them. I know those are 2, and TJ, are you familiar with any other?
I mean, I think the biggest thing would be to contact your local state representatives and continue to, flood them with concerns and send them photos and have, residents, if they're concerned about it, have a campaign where they're all contacting the state rep. I think that's probably going to be your best bet, but you're dealing with the state, so.
Right, no, I know.
I know there was concern In the previous years, that supposedly state said that wasn't meant for a sidewalk. Well, with the new construction they're doing, they put new concrete to connect to that sidewalk, so they know it's a
Correct.
sidewalk.
Correct.
So they can't use that argument anymore.
And the fourth thing I'd like them to do is put the lights back on that bridge as well. There were lights on that bridge at one
Well,
point.
that was the reason, that's
Right,
how
that's why
I
they
came
took
up
it
with
off.
the lights, when you mentioned the lights, that's
Right.
correct.
So I guess, do we direct staff to put together a resolution that we can approve at the next meeting?
That'd be my recommendation.
Okay, so then we don't need to vote on that, or should we vote on that?
To get it on the record, I'd
Yeah.
recommend you make.
So
a
I'd like to
motion.
make a motion that we have staff create a resolution that we can approve at the next meeting, directing the state to address our concerns with the bridge on Route 14.
I'll second that.
All right, we have a motion by Schulz, second by Perkins, for staff to generate a resolution directing the state to take care of their property. Any other comments or questions? Hearing none, clerk call the roll.
Alderman Perkins,
Yes.
Haderlein,
Yes?
Schulz,
Yes?
Lavallee,
Yes.
Lancaster.
Yes.
All ayes, motion carries.
All right, thank you. And I would suggest when that is passed, we can send that from my office to our state senator and representative. And then it may take additional things like creating a petition or something to submit to them.
online petition.
So, all right.
I mean, if we were Crystal Lake, they'd be taking care of this. We are not.
Perhaps I can't judge whether Crystal Lake gets more
I'm sure they do.
priority than Harvard does, but it certainly feels that way. So, all right. Item number 11 is a community and economic recommendation concerning surplus property located at 307 Grant Street. The recommendation is a motion to adopt an ordinance declaring certain city-owned real estate commonly known as 307 Grant Street as surplus and authorizing the sale of the surplus property.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, motion by Perkins, second by Lancaster. Any comments or questions here? Hearing none, clerk call the roll.
Alderwoman Haderlein,
Yes?
Schulz,
Yes.
Lavallee,
Yes.
Lancaster,
Yes.
Perkins.
Yes.
Ordinance 2024-123.
All right, thank you. Item number 12, please note that the Administration Committee meeting discussion notes are included for the agendas items 14 and 16 through 19. And this is concerning these items because the Administration Committee did not have a quorum. And so the recommendations were passed from the committee. While they did review them, they could not vote. And so they're brought directly to City Council. So item number 13 is a staff recommendation, and it's a staff recommendation that was made to the committee, but is now being brought straight to council for a budget amendment for the sidewalk program and road repairs. The recommendation is a motion to adopt an ordinance for a budget amendment to transfer $60,000 from the sidewalk budget to the parking lot road maintenance budget.
I'll make a motion to adopt an ordinance for a budget amendment to transfer $60,000 from the sidewalk budget to the parking lot road maintenance budget.
Second.
I have a motion by Haderlein and a second by Schulz. Any comments or questions here?
Just a quick verification on it. The parking lot road maintenance, is it a parking lot? Is that part of this, the road part of it? Because it says parking lot road maintenance. Is it going for the roads that we talked about before? Is there one of the city's parking lots where
It's going for the roads.
Okay.
What happened was when I went to do the budget amendment, I really didn't have a line item to put for road maintenance in that fund. So I added / road maintenance to the parking lot maintenance because it's the only thing that made sense.
Okay.
And we could use it moving forward if we need to, but it's going to the road maintenance as you voted for.
Yeah, it's the rejuvenation funding.
Yeah, so the funding's to do additional rejuvenation. And we needed to do that because we could not use MFT funding to pay for that because the state does not recognize that as a suitable treatment for road surfaces that is allowed to be
Yeah.
used MFT funds to pay for. So. All right, well, we have a motion and a second. Any other comments or questions? Hearing none, clerk call the roll.
Alderwoman Haderlein,
Yes.
Schulz,
Yes.
Lavallee,
Yes.
Lancaster,
Yes.
Perkins.
Yes.
All ayes, motion carries. Ordinance 2024-124.
Thank you. Item number 14 is the Infrastructure Committee recommendation for the 2024 sidewalk program. The recommendation is a motion to approve the proposal submitted by Christopher B. Burke Engineering to provide design engineering services for a sidewalk installation project at the intersection of Ratzloff and Beaumont Street at a cost of $14,995.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion by Schulz, second by Perkins. Any comments or questions here?
Just to clarify, this is the entrance into Milky Way Park.
That's correct.
Right, the eastern entrance.
Eastern entrance, correct.
Thank you.
Off of Ratzloff. All right, no further questions. Clerk, call the roll.
Alderman Schulz,
Yes.
Lavallee,
Yes.
Lancaster,
Yes.
Perkins,
Yes.
Haderlein.
Yes.
All ayes, motion carries.
Thank you. Item number 15 is a staff recommendation for a budget amendment concerning the police pension fund. The recommendation is a motion to adopt an ordinance for a budget amendment to increase the budget by $50,000 over the original amount.
Make a motion to approve the ordinance for budget amendment to increase the budget by $50,000 over the original amount for the police pension fund.
I'll second it.
All right, we have a motion by Haderlein and a second by Lancaster. Any comments or questions here? Make sure you know what this is about. So.
I know why we're doing it, but where's it coming from in the budget?
It'll come from fund reserve in the general fund. So it's not being taken away from any other budgeted items that you voted on previously. So nothing, no other departments, no other projects are falling short. It's just part of the fund reserve.
Okay.
Any other comments or questions? Hearing none, clerk call the roll.
Alderman Lavallee,
Yes.
Lancaster,
Yes.
Perkins,
Yes.
Haderlein,
Yes.
Schulz.
Yes.
All ayes, motion carries. Ordinance 2024-125.
Thank you. Item number 16 is the staff recommendation for well 9 standby generator. The recommendation is a motion to approve the proposal by Christopher B. Burke Engineering for engineering services to design a standby generator at well 9. The fee estimate is $23,924.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Schulz, second by Haderlein. Just to make sure people know, the EPA has required that the city have backup power to our at least one well within our system. We do have a portable generator, but we are required now mandated to have a permanent power supply, backup power supply, and to ensure that the generator is sized correctly for that particular service. It requires us to engage our engineering company to do that for us. All right, any other comments or questions concerning this issue? Hearing none, clerk call the roll.
Alderwoman Lancaster,
Yes.
Perkins,
Yes.
Haderlein,
Yes.
Schulz,
Yes.
Lavallee.
Yes.
All ayes, motion carries.
Thank you. Item number 17 is staff recommendation for use of surplus funds. The recommendation is a motion to approve the use of surplus funds to purchase a used truck for the utility department at a cost not to exceed $18,000.
I'll make a motion to approve the use of surplus funds to purchase a used truck for the utility department at a cost not to exceed $18,000.
Second.
I have a motion by Haderlein, second by Schulz. Any comments or questions here?
And what's the use for this truck?
So this truck will replace one that's aging out, and it's something that, sorry.
With
That's-
man on the road to do a project out in the city. So it'll be 3 trucks for the operators, 1 person.
So that Parks truck would have been pretty nice for that. And then, as I know it's probably be later on mentioned, the Gators going to the Public Works for the sidewalks.
It's actually going to the building department
Building
to do
department.
the
So
sidewalks
building
downtown.
department, okay.
Correct.
Sorry for getting that
So
wrong.
what ended up happening was that the $10,000 that public utilities used out of their budget to purchase it, the Gator is still essentially new. So the building department purchased it from them at $10,000, and then with some other surplus items that were sold, comes out to about $18,000. So it's money that's been generated versus coming out of their direct budget.
And Lou, correct me if I'm not wrong, but from a couple meetings ago with the Parks truck, you have corrected that for next time we purchase a vehicle, that there won't be a issue of who owns it and how you can reallocate to another department if one department's not using it.
That is correct.
Okay, good. 'Cause
Yeah, and just to be clear for everyone out there, if all of this equipment that's being purchased is purchased under the authority of the city of Harvard, so if it needs to be reallocated, it'll be reallocated, provided it's not being used by that department, it will be reallocated as such.
Okay.
Not one department owns that equipment.
All right, any other comments or questions here? Hearing none, clerk call the roll.
Alderwoman Lancaster,
Yes.
Perkins,
yes.
Haderlein,
Yes.
Schulz,
Yes.
Lavallee.
Yes.
All ayes, motion carries.
Thank you. Item number 18 is a staff recommendation for miscellaneous surplus property. The recommendation is a motion to adopt an ordinance declaring and authorizing the sale and disposition of surplus property.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion by Perkins, second by Haderlein. Any comments or questions here? Hearing none, clerk call the roll.
Alderman Perkins,
Yes.
Haderlein,
Yes.
Schulz,
Yes.
Lavallee,
Yes.
Lancaster.
Yes.
All ayes, motion carries. Ordinance 2024-126.
All right, thank you. Item number 19 is a Parks and Recreation Board recommendation concerning Milk Day's proposed building addition. The recommendation is a motion to approve Milk Day's proposal for an expansion to the dairy barn at Milky Way Park, subject to the addition not reaching the driveway. And the driveway mentioned here is the one that is on the north side of the building, next to the railroad tracks. So there, my understanding is there will be still about a 20-foot distance between the edge of the building and that northern driveway.
Just for clarification, they would still need to get a building permit for so you're approving them to be able to expand on the shed that's there, because it is city property, on city property, but they would still have to go and get a permit.
Motion to approve.
I'll second it.
I have a motion by Schulz and second by Lancaster. Any other comments or questions here?
Just out of curiosity, is anyone here from the Milk Day Committee?
I sit on that board.
Okay. What's the reason for the addition, just so everyone
So,
can hear?
the addition is to expand the barn on the north side of the barn for 2 principal reasons. One, it allow them to bring additional cattle into the barn during the Junior Cattle Show. They're running out of room.
Which is a good thing that
yeah.
they need to expand.
So that gives them additional room to bring the cows inside the barn during that part of the Milk Days event. And then secondly, it also expands their storage area for when when Milk Days isn't going on. If you've not been in that barn outside of Milk Days, it is packed full of things.
Yeah.
And so having that additional room for additional storage will be quite helpful, especially because they're looking to purchase over time light towers because they've been renting those for years and years, and so they've been trying to acquire used ones on the market to try and reduce their future expenses as they continue to do Milk Days, and they'll need more room to store those things. So. Any other comments or questions? Hearing none, clerk call the roll.
Alderman Perkins.
Yes.
Haderlein.
Yes.
Schulz.
Yes.
Lavallee.
Yes.
Lancaster.
Yes.
All ayes, motion carries.
Thank you. Item number 20 is the Parks and Recreation Board recommendation for relocation of the community garden. The recommendation is a motion to relocate the community garden to the area at Lions Park previously occupied by the volleyball courts. So this area is right next to the pool versus being beside the Lions Park kids playground behind the library.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Motion by Perkins, second by Lancaster. Any comments or questions here? Hearing none, clerk call the roll.
Alderwoman Haderlein.
Yes.
Schulz.
Yes.
Lavallee.
Yes.
Lancaster.
Yes.
Perkins.
Yes.
All ayes, motion carries.
All right, thank you. Item number 21 is a Parks and Recreation Board discussion, the Parks Foundation bonfire request. The recommendation is a motion to approve the Harvard Parks Foundation request to conduct a bonfire in the dog park at the conclusion of the Day of the Dead celebration to be held in the Milky Way Park on November 2nd, 2024.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the Harvard Parks Foundation request to conduct a bonfire in the dog park at the conclusion of the Day of the Dead celebration on November 2nd, 2024.
Second?
All right, motion by Lancaster, second by Haderlein. Any comments or questions here? I'll just add, because I also sit on this board, the area was kind of chosen because it's inside a fenced area. And so at the conclusion of the Day of the Dead events, they wanted to have a bonfire, but they wanted to ensure that the participants, or I should say the observers, can stay outside of the area where the bonfire is actually and reduce liability. And the foundation does plan to engage and have on-site fire services just in case, but we're hoping that the community will really embrace the celebration and come out and enjoy. So, all right, any other comments or questions? Hearing none, clerk call the roll.
Alderwoman Haderlein.
Yes.
Schulz.
Yes.
Lavallee.
Yes.
Lancaster.
Yes.
Perkins.
Yes.
All ayes, motion carries.
All right, thank you. Item number 22 is a call committee of the whole meeting for September. During this meeting, we do intend to host training for council members as well as planning and zoning commissioners regarding public meetings and just general elected officials and appointed officials training. And then other items that I think we can also tackle, some of strategic planning as an agenda item, but the main thing for this particular committee of the whole will be conducting training for council members and commissioners. So, is there a date that works for everyone?
We roll through the meeting dates for next month.
On September 3rd, Planning and Zoning meets at 7 o'clock. Tree Board meets September 4th at 6:30. Infrastructure Committee meets September 9th at 6:30. Community and Economic Development meets September 10th at 6:30. Park Board meets September 16th at 6, and the Administration Committee meets on September 17th at 6:30 p.m.
And I should note that the committee of the whole could take place after the city council meeting, the week of the 24th or 23rd. There's no necessary reason that it needs to be done before the regular city council meeting. So I believe that week would be available.
I have a quick question. At the committee of the whole meeting, if there's a quorum, can a final decision be made, or does it still have to go to council after that?
A final decision can be made.
We might need to do it before. The lead line approval for the loan application was not on this agenda, and we should get that done sooner rather than later. Unless we're going to do it the same night as council, then it doesn't matter, but I think we missed that on this one. We need to get the ball ball rolling on that. So if it's possible to get it done and then get it submitted to John, that would be great.
All right, well, that's something for council to consider when trying to schedule this. What's everyone's pleasure?
While you're considering a date, just one correction. The admin committee meeting on the 17th needs to be at 7 because we have an iPass exchange event going on with Senator Severson and House Rep Sanoski's people. Maringo had something very similar.
How about September 12th? How does that fit for everyone's schedules?
What time? I typically have league that night. As I have only 8 months left, do I really need this training, or can I just? I'm being honest. I mean, old dog does not want new tricks at this point.
I understand.
I mean, I'll come, but you know.
Well,
What time are we going to meet?
I'd recommend 6:30 if that works for everyone. Counselor, will that work for your? Our attorneys will be conducting the training.
Okay.
About how long is the training?
Depends on how many lovely questions everybody has, but usually ballpark, we can get it done in like an hour as we roll through.
Does this go to our CE for our alderman positions?
We can make a certificate for you if that's what you
The only thing I would say, though, if we have an hour in training on there, we've incurred some meetings that have gone 2.5, 3 hours. We need to figure out a way not to let that happen anymore. Like, we need to cut out meetings at 2 hours, the max. Because once, after 2 hours, we're losing people, in my opinion.
There'll be some recommendations in regard to that.
Okay, thank you.
And to that desire, I would suggest that if we put strategic vision on the agenda, that we keep that to a tight timeline.
Yeah.
And the amount of time that we spend on that will be, because I believe the training should take precedent over that discussion. We can then schedule another committee of the whole if we need to, subsequent to that. So September 12th, does that work for everyone? 6:30. Okay. Item number 23 is our department head reports. Let's start on this side. Our chief is out on vacation, so deputy chief.
Report submitted. The only thing that I have is the Citizens Police Academy. September 26th, we have 2 applicants so far. That's all I have.
Yeah. I noted that some people are confused and not really understanding what the police academy is. Hopefully we can try and help educate the community. I think we could probably use social media to help them understand a little bit more what it's about, but generally it's allow our citizens to understand from a police officer's perspective, really from all the aspects of policing, from getting a call to where that call originates, and through learning about our dispatch, and then understanding all of the procedures and processes that we go through to investigate a crime, and so you really get to learn what a police officer does, and really I believe will help create a stronger knit community, because our community understands what our police officers do. Thank you. And then also it allows our police to be more engaged with our community. So it's I wholly recommend, if you have any interest in policing or want to understand what our police officers do, it's a fantastic opportunity to get engaged. And it's one night a week for 8 weeks, I believe.
Yes.
8
yes.
weeks. you can only miss one meeting, so. A previous applicant, or I should say attendee, wasn't able to complete, missed more than one meeting, and so he didn't get his,
I think you still got a shirt, though.
yeah, he did get a shirt.
So hypothetically, would that same applicant have to reapply?
Yeah, yes, they would, yes.
And when is the
Yes,
application
so
due
when,
date?
when is application due date?
I'm not sure on that. I know that it starts the 26th. I think we can take them up to a week before.
Okay, so,
And just to and not to reiterate anything that you said, but just to go a little bit further on the piggyback, it really offers a snapshot of what we do day to day, several aspects. I myself, the last one we did, taught an hour or two block on use of force and investigation stuff. We have various officers that instruct, so to speak, certain aspects of this. And it's a very beneficial thing. It helps get a snapshot into the why we do what we do, so.
agreed, and, I'm very pleased that we've, got this, academy rolling, because it's been something that's been on our kind of tickler list for a couple of years, and, thanks to, Ed Cohn for kind of putting that together and getting the ball rolling, so looking forward to our second class. Anything else?
No, this will be one of my last ones for a while, as far as city council meetings. I'll be gone, halfway through September, so this will be my last one to see my smiling face, so.
Yeah, for those that don't know, he will be going to Virginia to attend the FBI National Academy, which is a very prestigious law enforcement academy that actually has been very beneficial in such a small department as ours to have several graduates from that academy, including a current chief. And so looking forward to, and this is by invite only, so it's quite an honor that that our department has been recognized as such. So we look forward to seeing you go and graduate from that and have another National Academy grad on our staff.
Well, thank you. That's all I have.
All right, thank you. Stacy.
Okay, that's me. I just had a few things in addition to the report that was submitted. We did have our dog foam party on Sunday. So I just wanted to thank Pet Paradise for partnering with us. They provided doggy bags for all the dogs that were registered. And it was enough product that it was like equal to what the registration fee had been. So that was a really good deal for everybody that was there. So thank you to Pet Paradise for that. The swings at Mary's Park are officially installed. Drove by to see them, so those are there. And then for the community garden, we are going to have 2 community garden areas then. So we'll have the raised garden beds near the pool, and then we will also have those apple trees back behind the library, and we're discussing cleaning that up and then adding more, so that we'll have 2 different areas to garden in or to gather your fruits or whatever and share with the community that way. So, and that's all I have.
All right, thank you. Rob.
Report is submitted. Two additional notes to that is I want to remind everybody that might not have seen it or been on social media. Public Works will be closing West Diggins on this Thursday, the 29th. We will be removing an old section of railroad tracks that are in conflict with the paving project. We've got this lined up with Union Pacific Railroad, so they're going to be there watching the tracks while we excavate and remove the tracks. Grinding will start Friday. Gasky is still on board with that. And then other than that, the brand new truck is outside. If anybody would like to take a look at it afterwards, I'd be happy to unlock it. Again, this is a big thank you to this body and the administration for doing this. This is the first large truck that the city of Harvard has purchased since 2008. This one replaces a 1991 stick shift gas Ford F800. So, and if anybody's interested in that, within the next month or 2, that'll be for sale, so.
All right, thank you.
You donate that truck to a museum somewhere? Can we?
It does qualify for antique plates.
Report is submitted, Mayor.
All right, thank you, and thank you for your due diligence on the Grant Street property that we were able to get with the help of our attorneys. This has kind of been a blight within the community, and so we're looking forward to getting that back on the tax rolls and having someone
Thank
bring
you,
it
me
back
too.
up. Yeah. Jim?
Report is submitted. The water tower worked. It's started about a little over a week now. They're about halfway through with the blasting, so everything's going along very well.
All right, thank you. Donavan?
Thank you, Mayor, City Council. Happy to announce that Funko Junkie Collectibles will be opening up at 110 Airport Road, Suite 2. Is Alfredo here? Is that Alfredo? He's our newest business owner, operating Funko Junkie Collectibles. The Funko Pops, Matchbox cars, trading cards like Pokemon, and action figures. So just in time for Christmas coming up here.
Welcome to the community.
And he's opening on Saturday, correct? Moving in on Saturday. Okay, great. Starbucks, we got their third review back today and sent that off back to the developer to make some revisions on their plans. I think this will be the last round. The car wash is moving along. They've got a site work and foundation permit only. Building plans, the foundation stuff was approved. There's a couple corrections that have to be made. They resubmitted their plans today so that once that footing and foundation goes in, they can start going vertical. The Dunkin' Donuts, they submitted their sign permit today. That should be opening up within the next couple weeks, unless Alderman Schulz has heard anything different. No? Okay.
No, guys, they actually take care of their porta potty now. Make sure that's shut.
Yeah. Tesca Associates will begin field work for the proposed downtown TIF district in the next week or two. I believe he'll start next week. Field work that'll include taking pictures and things like that. KLM at Huntington Ridge, they're in talks with us right now to begin building again. The city council had approved an agreement with them to construct 4 homes over 2 years. They only constructed 1 home during that time period. So we had a discussion with Kim from KLM. They will be paying the remainder of that building permit fee, which is just over $4,000. But they would like to approach city council for an agreement, the same type of agreement. I think the fees will go up a little bit, as we discussed. But that should be coming to you in September. And that's all I have, Mayor.
All right, thank you. Move on to committee reports. We'll start over here. Lori, you have anything for council tonight?
Nothing further.
No?
Nothing further, Mayor.
All right, thank you. Just so others know that Charles Gorman, Alderman Gorman, is absent tonight because a couple things. One, his wife had a stroke recently. She is recovering well, though, and does not appear like she'll have any lasting effects. But just after that, he himself had some back issues, and he's currently struggling to be able to sit up.
Oh.
So he apologized he couldn't make it tonight, and just wanted to let everyone know. Hopefully he'll be back next month. And then Rosa is out of town taking care of her daughter, and so and should be viewing online tonight. So I did let both of those know, and I want to make sure to let all of you know if an issue comes up that you cannot attend the city council, but you know ahead of time within more than 48 hours. If you notify the city clerk, then we can vote to allow you to attend the meeting by phone. You guys passed that ordinance, and so you could still participate in the meeting, but you need to meet that criteria, and there's only 4 reasons that you are permitted to do this. One of them being a family emergency, personal health, and there are a couple of other reasons. So if that ever comes up in the future for any council members, and it's at least 48 hours in advance, if you can notify the city clerk, we can then vote to allow you to attend by phone. Okay, Matt, thank you. Lisa?
Oh, yeah, just, of course, the tree board is working on a October celebration at Mary's Park, hoping to plant 16 trees from the list of permitted trees that they've developed, which our previous list of permitted trees in Harvard was, I think, 6 trees. And now it's quite expanded, and want to plant examples of 16 of those trees. We're looking for sponsors. Folks can sponsor a tree for $300 or can purchase a tree directly from a local nursery if they would prefer. And we have a list of the species that we're planning to plant, and we will not be planting more maples because most of the trees in the park are already maples. So anyway, that'll be October 5th at 10 a.m.
At Mary's Park.
At Mary's Park,
Yes.
exactly, yeah.
And the idea there was from the committee, these could help showcase the type of trees and where you can plant
Right.
them. So, for instance, there are certain trees that make sense to be planted under overhead wires, and there's overhead wires on the north side of the park, and
Yep.
north side of the park. So, they're going to use that area as an example of the type of trees to plant there. And there's an expectation to plaque all these trees to identify their species and make it an example of the type of trees and what they would look like in your yard or right away in front of your house.
Yeah,
So,
and if you sponsor a tree, your name will be on the plaque.
that's right. So if you're interested in sponsoring
Yeah.
a tree, please reach out.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Jay, anything tonight?
Nothing tonight, Mayor. Thank you.
All right, John?
Nothing tonight, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Treasurer's report.
A few more words to say than I usually do, and it doesn't really have anything to do with my report. It has to do with Lori, because this is her last council
Do I
meeting
get to
tonight.
leave now? It's not my
No.
next council meeting.
As much as we've kicked and screamed and asked her not to go, this is her last meeting. So, I just wanted to just make a little speech. Around City Hall, we have a little saying we throw around, 1856. And what we do with that is, the city's been around since 1856. It's been around hundreds of years before we got here, and it's going to survive 100 years after. Lori's been here for 34. And I think I speak for all of us when I say she's going to leave a mark. Her unrelentless dedication to the city, to the community, and to her friends and family, words cannot express it. Sorry. And she's going to be missed. And so I have something for you that hopefully, I know you're not going to ghost us. You're going to be back.
Right.
But we're going to miss you a lot more than you're going to miss us. And so I got you something that you can remember us by every day.
Okay.
If any of you, all of you have stopped in City Hall at one time or another to ask a question or to get some information. And if you come to my office, you might be lucky enough to get the answer right away. And if you're even lucky, you'll get the right answer right away. But 9 times out of 10, this is the answer you're going to get. Now, I thought about leaving this on my wall so that we could just point to it when anybody asked us a question we didn't know the answer to, but you're not going to get any rest because this crew is going to come and knock it. So we're going to have to fend for ourselves, but I just wanted you to know that you are going to be greatly missed.
Thank you very much, Dell.
I'll give this to you later. Okay. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you, Deb. Moving on to the attorney's report.
Dovak to follow. I do not have any report, though.
All right, administrator's report.
So, a report is submitted. The only thing I would like to add is, in my travels, I've run across several city clerks and a few administrative assistants, and I second Deb's emotions on that. Lori, you really are going to be missed as the administrative assistant.
Thank you.
And right now, Jeanette, I think, is a worthy pupil, but she's got some very big shoes to fill.
Doing very well.
So that's it.
Okay, thank you. Clerk's report, the last clerk's report.
Thank you, everyone. Did you want to have it?
Yeah.
Yes, you're not done.
This is why she just loves when I forget something. There was one last thing. Thank you, Lori. We are in the process of finding Jim's replacement when Jim retires. That being said, we've already started the interview process. We had about 7 applicants. We've initially narrowed it down to 4. We've narrowed it down to 2, and we need to schedule an infrastructure committee meeting so that the committee could interview those 2 candidates and give us their feedback. Now, a little side note, thank you to all the committee as well, or all the committee chair people for selecting a day of the month. It helps us as far as planning. That said, with infrastructure scheduled for the 9th, I'm hoping that we could try to schedule an infrastructure meeting, say the 5th or the 11th. The 5th is a Thursday, the 11th is a Wednesday, so that we can get those candidates through.
This would be a special infrastructure.
Correct, thank you.
I can't do the 5th. I'm already giving you the next week on the 12th. I can't do both.
How's the 11th work?
What time?
We could do it as early as 6.
If I'm back, I'm probably going to a baseball game that day. I should be back by then, but I mean, I can't guarantee.
Is it okay if we push it to 6:30 though?
The 11th is a Wednesday. Is that kind of a conflict?
So keep in mind too that since this is a special meeting and the only topics are the 2 candidates, we can have this over in the conference room.
6:30 is fine.
Okay, 6:30.
So we're not going to have it on the 9th then?
Well, no, that's something, if I can get a hold of Charlie, we
Yeah.
can discuss.
2 meetings
I
in
don't
1 week
think-
for the committee though? That's kind of,
Well, keep in mind, one is strictly just the interview.
Correct.
But, Rob, do you think we have anything? Yeah. How about right now, it's to be determined.
okay.
Okay, and we'll talk and we'll try to reach Charlie to get a final determination. If that's the case, then maybe we can just move it for the regular meeting on the 9th, if there's nothing else scheduled. Okay.
Yeah.
So just put a placeholder for the 11th.
All right, now, clerk's report.
Did you guys want another run through on the meeting dates, or do you guys all have it?
I recommend let's do that.
All right. We have Planning and Zoning Commission meets Tuesday, September 3rd, 7 o'clock, and that's for the text amendments. The Tree Board meets September 4th at 6:30 PM. Infrastructure Committee meets Monday, the 9th at 6:30 PM. Community and Economic Development meets Tuesday, the 10th at 6:30 PM. Tentative Special Infrastructure Committee meeting September 11th at 6:30. Committee of the Whole, September 12th at 6:30. Park Board meets September 16th at 6 o'clock. Administration Committee meets September 17th at 7, and our next regular City Council meeting is the 24th at 7.
Meetings.
And then the only other thing I have is the candidate packets are available for the April election. They are on the city's website, or you can also come into City Hall and pick up a packet.
Right.
And that is all I have, Mayor.
Thank you. For the mayor's report, I'm 29. I just wanted, we're getting near the end of our long staff that has been here forever, including Lori, and Jim will be not too far down the road. It's a lot of new faces, and so I wholly am appreciative of those that are retiring, the sacrifices that they have made for our community. I recognize that it's a paid position, but the amount of stress and the amount of dedication that these people put to our community and for our community cannot be underscored. They or understated. It's amazing that these people all give of their lives really to make our community a better place. And Lori, who has been my administrative assistant in my tenure here, and mayors before me, and has been our city clerk now for hopefully till the end of May. But there is a motion on the ballot that will be referendum to make this an appointed position. And if that's the case, Lori will be the last elected city clerk of the city of Harvard. The 34 years of dedicated service to the citizens of Harvard is not something to take lightly. That's a lifetime. We all have enjoyed and will desperately miss working with Lori. And so at this time, I would like to present you with a plaque. Sure everybody can hear this. This is a key to the city. A certificate of recognition is presented to Lori Moller for outstanding service as administrative assistant from 4/3/1990 to 9/19/2024. This key to the city of Harvard is presented in grateful appreciation for unselfish, dedicated service to the citizens of the city of Harvard, and is presented by Mayor Michael P. Kelly and members of the City Council, and attested by Jeanette Nunez, our Deputy City Clerk. Now, I should state that because she's a city clerk, we had to do this kind of discreetly because she can sniff out things. And of course, for the agenda, we had to figure out how to put it on the agenda or do it and still do it on the agenda. So under the mayor's report, we were able to do that, and under the treasurer's report. So.
Sort of, kind of, no.
No.
So.
My last meeting, come on, Deb. Been around a long time.
It probably didn't hurt that your daughter came.
Well,
in.
yeah,
So-
when I saw her. Yes, exactly.
So thank you very much for your service. We will certainly miss you, and we wish you a very happy, healthy retirement.
Thank you very much.
With that stated, I'll accept the motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
A motion by Perkins, second by Lancaster. Clerk, call the roll.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you and good night.
Yeah.